You know what? There is something going on at my end with this intro, because on the Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff, it's running smoothly, but here it's pausing in and out and it's stopping.
Oh yeah, it was running smoothly for me.
Yeah, so at my end, when I'm looking through Melon, it's pausing and it's stopping. But on the streams, it's working fine. So I might have to take it out and put it back in. So
Yeah.
there's something definitely going on with it. But hey, welcome. How you doing?
Welcome. I'm very well, thank you, Brian. How are you?
Everything going well?
Yeah, just as I said, as you know, I'm probably working a buckload. It's Christmas-ish, Christmas time. But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm doing well. Getting some stuff planned in the works for next year. I'm just trying to get a schedule for myself starting January, so I can get some actual investigation videos up and coming. Obviously, I've got the one that I should be recording at the end of next week, the house one. So that I'm excited for that. So that should be coming soon. Hopefully, I can get in there next week to do it, and then next year from January, I've got a nice schedule lined up of different places that I'll be going to. So that's what I've been doing this week. Just trying to get ahead of myself.
Well, that's good. So is your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, I'm clever. I do all of mine in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get all because I love Christmas, so I get people loads. I get loads of people presents, like loads of stuff. And what I do is I buy loads of stuff in the January sale that I know is not gonna go out of fashion or trend, and just nice stuff that they'd like. So I can spend a fair bob on that, and then I can get them a big present or something a bit more expensive around this time of year. That way they get like loads of little knick-knacky bits, they get some cool stuff, and then they get a big major present as well. So I'm pretty good with it. How about you, Brian?
No. Nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all. I should be, though. I should. I think it's smart getting it all out of the way pretty early, but I don't know. I don't really have to buy much anymore for anybody. So I obviously get for my son. Is something going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I was just trying to stop my camera being so blurry.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm pretty bad when it comes to that, but other than that, I'm not in all honesty, I'm not really a big Christmas person. I never have been, really, to be honest. My feeling personally, it's all about yeah, I know. I don't even have one up.
Really? I did. As soon as it hits December the 1st, it's tree straight away. And that will come down in mid-January at some point when I can be bothered to take it down.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't really have anybody over for Christmas. So, and then we're going places. So, my son will be here. So, really, at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm just not really a big Christmas person. Never have been. I don't know why.
I don't think I would be if it wasn't for the fact that my birthday is 5 days later.
Okay.
So,
well, that makes
as soon as like the countdown to Christmas starts, and then on Christmas Day, I'm like 5 days to go until the sesh.
Are you one of those people that gets excited when your birthday comes up?
Oh yeah, because my birthday is always like a festival.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people come out for my birthday.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I've had a few messy evenings, and because it's quite cool. Because one of the things me and my friends used to do is we used to try and do a 3-day New Year birthday weekend. So we did a thing. It's a stupid thing to do, especially when we was like 18. But we would drink nothing but alcohol for my birthday, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. Unless so the only thing you could drink other than alcohol was water if you needed it. But that was it. You weren't allowed to stop drinking for 3 days. And I think halfway through New Year's Day, I think we all just passed out. And we haven't attempted it since because it was quite dangerous.
You know what? I meant to ask you on the show last week. When is your house investigation? What's the date on that? Or do you have one yet?
She hasn't given me a date, but I think she said it was either going to be the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, or the 20th. So it's one of those days.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's very close.
So other than paranormal stuff, there's not a lot going on with you.
No, not really. Just getting ready
No.
for the festival season now. That's pretty much it. Earning some money, get some work done, do some research if I need to, just catch up on videos that I'm missing because I've had a really horrible. Obviously, as you know, how busy I've been. I've not had any
Yeah.
time to watch a lot of people's videos this month, which has been a bit
Yeah.
sucky. I've got like a hidden playlist of people's videos that I need to watch and go through. So
Okay.
I'll be catching up on that soon.
Well, that's good. So I was supposed to put out a video on Friday of the abandoned church. Not even halfway through. There is so much going on in this video. I don't even know what to do with, man. I just I look at it because it's up on my big screen, the software and the video, and I'm just looking at it and it's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And so then something else came along. So I'm doing an investigation in January. I think I told you guys about it last week. I'm doing it on a inn and a bar. They're combined. They have 5 rooms. They have 5 rooms upstairs. So I went there on Thursday to look at the place, just to check it out, hear their story, and tell them what's going to happen and all that stuff. So I decided that I was going to walk around on the tour and have the voice recorder recording. Yeah.
As a
14 minutes and 52 seconds, 38 EVPs.
Holy shit. Jesus.
38. So what I've decided that I'm going to do, I went through the audio several times on the phone. Then I put it up into Sunny Vegas, which is the software I use. I'm sorry. People are going to think that I'm putting the stuff in there.
Really?
That's how many there are. So I've decided that I'm putting a video together, and it's just audio, and I'm going to put it up on YouTube. And so what I'm doing is every time there's an EVP, I what do you call it? I do the adjustments to raise the volume for that particular clip. Okay. Dude, I was talking to Matt Barron today. He's the paranormal consultant, and I was telling him today there is something I need to talk about after this about that. Yeah. And the funny thing is, well, it's not funny, it's cool. During our tour, while we were downstairs in the basement, where they seem to be getting a lot of action, I got a woman EVP and a man EVP saying the name Tiffany. Now, the important thing about that is the girl that was giving us the tour, her name's Tiffany.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
And when I went into the place, as people know, most people know that I am insensitive. I went into the place, I felt a little boy right away. And which is funny because I asked, there's a boy in here. And she goes, well, you're right. The funny thing is, a long time ago, there used to be an orphanage right beside this bar.
Oh, okay.
So while I was downstairs in the basement, it not only was cool, but it was actually kind of upsetting when I heard it. A little boy came across EVP saying freedom and free.
Oh.
So people are going to hear that. I'm going to put it up on YouTube. Yeah, it's just going to be a black screen. It's going to be audio. That's all it's going to be. Some of the EVPs that I caught in this 14 minutes and 52 second audio clip is absolutely incredible. And I'm blown away on the amount of EVPs that I captured. So, to say the least, I'm a little bit excited to be investigating this place. So, this video is definitely going to be going up on Paraflix. It's probably going to be a 2-parter. We're probably going to do the bar and the basement in one video, and then the inn in the second video.
Yeah.
There's so much activity going throughout the whole place. This bar and inn's been around since 1789. Okay. It burnt down in 1812 of the War of 1812, and it was rebuilt. The guy that was the owner was actually killed in this bar. I don't know the whole story, and I'm not going to say the whole story, but I guess the War of 1812, his bar was being attacked. He went downstairs in the basement. Those barrels, those wine barrels.
Oh, yeah.
He hid in one of those, and I guess they went downstairs and was stabbing the barrels, and he was in one of them, and that's how he died.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah, so it's a crazy story. It's going to be, I think, a crazy investigation. They have books being thrown, glasses being thrown. They even have, the metal teapots where it comes out of the top, and they're in restaurants, the big ones.
Yeah.
They actually had one thrown off the shelf right across the room, hit the wall, and broke.
Oh, that's a lot of force thrown into that.
Yeah, so they actually showed me the teapot. They still have it. They still have it as a keepsake. This was thrown right across the room. It was probably about 5 feet, and it hit the wall.
Jesus.
And nobody threw it. So it's going to be a really, really cool investigation. They actually caught an apparition on their video camera, on their security camera, which is really super cool. They think it's the guy that actually died because he's wearing like the uniform in those days.
Yeah.
But I actually looked at it. I think it's a woman. But anyways, we'll show that in the video as well when it comes out. And obviously that will be going into my 3rd season. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So anyways, I think we kept our guest waiting long enough. What do you think?
Yeah, I believe we have. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we make him wait 5 more minutes? Because he was late. He's shaking his head and smiling. That's fine. I met this gentleman. When did I meet him? I met him about 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Bad to the Bone, as we know. We're on a podcast with Brian James, Spokane. And I guess they talked about Parapost. Brian came over to Parapost. Brian's good friends with Eldon, who's coming on the show today. Found out about Parapost. Huge supporters of Parapost Network. You will find them on Parapost. Their links are below. I put them in the description. So if you click the link for Parapost, it goes directly to Eldon's page, and you can follow him. You can sign up for Parapost. Now, he was formerly known as Arizona Paranormal. His name has changed now to Global United Paranormal Foundation, which is a huge name to say. So, he's going to tell us why the name changed, and we're going to find out a lot more about him today. So let's bring on Eldon from Global United Paranormal. There he is.
Hey, what's going on, Lex? How you doing there, buddy?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Wait a minute.
Brian.
Oh, yeah. That's a little get me back there or what? That's hilarious. That's great. Not well received, but that was funny. So, you know what, Eldon, I really appreciate you coming on today's show. I know there was I know why you were late is because of the time difference, because you're central, right?
Oh, I'm an old truck driver. I can't tell you what time it is.
But I really appreciate coming on the show today. And
glad to be here, Brian.
Obviously, there's been a lot of changes with you in the last couple of weeks.
There has been, yeah.
Going from Arizona Paranormal to now Global United Paranormal Foundation, which is a huge name to say. And but I think it pretty well explains what your organization is about. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about that and tell us how it came about and what you guys are planning on doing.
And that's just it, Brian. It's a big name because we got some big plans, and the name says exactly what it is. There's no, you can read that name and you know exactly what you're getting. There's no guesswork to it. With a lot of teams, you kind of got to see, I've seen like one of our co-founders, his prior name was Abnormal. It's kind of ingenious, So you kind of playing some guesswork with some of the names I've seen. I'm sure you've seen what I'm talking about. But with ours, we come up with this name because we wanted people to know exactly what we were doing, what we're about, and where we are going to be located. Yes, we're driving. We're starting here in Arizona, and we are reaching out abroad across the world, not just within the United States. And I'll kind of give you a small little story to that after I'm done. But I met with James, Brian James, because we got two Bryans here. Sometimes we get confused on that. We did the other night, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Brian James and I, we got together. We got a lot of the same visions. We click really well, and we noticed this pretty early on, and the drive that we have and the vision that we have really parallels each other so close. And we do have a third gentleman. His name is Jason, and he's on board just the same as we are. And the good thing with Jason, with you know other than me and Brian's in Spokane, I'm in Arizona. So that connection is a little distant. However, with Jason, he's right here in the valley with me. He probably lives less than 20 miles from me. So it kind of makes things a little easier for that. And he also shares the visions that we do. So we all three kind of met together, kind of went over where we want to go, what our visions are. Do we click very well, which we do. And we decided, hey, let's just make a big go of this and let's try to get this word out and help teach people and learn from other people worldwide and make this broad. Now I'm going to tell you why we want to get to that particular reach, and Matt Barron, the paranormal consultant, he kind of came to our rescue yesterday. We had a client that was seems to be in serious trouble down in Tennessee. Well, unfortunately, we're not in Tennessee yet, and we do have a few people through our Para Unity family that is in that area, but they were unavailable for whatever reasons. And we weren't able to, through our resources, get them the help they needed and the quick response that we felt they needed. So then we reached out to Matt Barron, and he was able to get us in touch with somebody that could eventually go and try to reach out and help that individual. Well, this is what we want to do. We want to be able to reach within our organization to do that. I want to be able to make a phone call and, okay, you're in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm in Phoenix. What's going on? Sure thing. I'll get you somebody calling you right back, and we'll get a response out there within 2 hours. This is what we want to thrive for, so that we can help those people in those areas. A lot of teams.
It's great. Yeah. So is the goal for? I understand investigations. Is there anything else within your company or foundation? Probably better to use that word, that you're going to be doing to helping people. Is it just paranormal? Is it going to be other things?
Without going into the full dynamics of the logistics involved with it, I'll lay pretty much the roads out in front of you as to what we're looking at. We're looking at everything paranormal, all paranormal, not just ghost hunting as it we're saying. Cryptozoology, ufology, parapsychology. The whole works is what we're getting into, and you're going to see different divisions under one umbrella, under the foundation, is how this will be put together. And that way we can unite the entire paranormal family together, because we also have other fingers and branches of the paranormal family out there, not just going out investigating paranormal haunts.
Yeah, I got you. So I'm just removing somebody that is those. I don't know where what the point of those numbers and those letters are. I have no idea what that means. What is VOI.FYI? What is
that? That actually looks like volume. FYI, or in other words, like FY your volume or something.
I don't understand that. Well, you know what? I think it's a great idea. How many people are with your team as of right now?
Currently, right now, we have 18 people on our team, and it is rapidly growing. We've got some interviews on the line that we'll be doing over the next couple of weeks here in Arizona, and it is rapidly growing.
That's cool, man. That's great. So what is going to be happening with Arizona Paranormal then?
Arizona Paranormal no longer exists. Arizona Paranormal, we have all converted. Spokane Ghost Crew, Arizona Paranormal, Southwest Para Abnormal. All three teams have now relinquished their prior team names and organization, and we have now joined in as one organization under Global United.
Cool. That's very cool.
Mhm.
Very, very cool. Well, you know what? I wish you guys nothing but success on this venture. My only advice is you're definitely going to have some ups and downs.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think it's really important that you guys have the key to any organization come together and just, collabing or coming together is communication. And you know this, you're a smart guy.
Absolutely.
And, but I definitely wish you the best on your venture. And if it goes right and if it goes good, that you guys are going to be big, and you guys will be the one that people will come to, hopefully, if they're in trouble with something in their home or business or something along those lines, And it's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've 100% agree. As anyone who knows who I am would know, and I've been a member of a similar organization that was based in the UK. We have a couple of Americans and Italians. We have a French group as well. So we've had a few like that as well. So we tried to do it. We've run into some crossroads, as every new startup does. So I just hope that just play it smart, keep the interests honest and open. I hope you all the best for that as well. It seems like it's going to be really cool. The fact that what we didn't do is what you did, is that you've relinquished into one umbrella name properly. We didn't do that. We had the umbrella name, but we're still doing our own stuff as well. So maybe that was an issue that we would probably run into down the road. So I don't know if you've heard of the organization I'm part of. It was Parapost.
Yes, I have.
So we've been around for just over a year. At the moment, we're taking a company hiatus,
right,
for a few weeks. But it's been a rocky year for us. So hopefully you don't hit as many walls as we did. But I do wish you the best, and I hope it all goes well for you. And I look forward to seeing more teams join that, because it's a really cool idea. And the name, as long as the name it's a good name. It's a good, strong name.
And the thing is, Lex, and really what we're focusing on is smaller steps right now to attain achievable goals. Yeah. And as we keep doing that and moving forward and taking those steps, we'll get where we need to go.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Brian said, communication is key right now. I've got excellent communication with both my other co-founders, and we trust one another. We believe in what each other is doing. We share that not just a responsibility but consequences. And I think that is key. With that strong communication base, we have to have it. So, and as long as that maintains, I think we'll be good. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you said an important bit there about trust as well, and very early on, one of the things I ran into was when we were bringing different groups into this umbrella, and eventually, we had to start checking out some of the applicants' videos online and seeing how, because what you don't want is the parafakers infiltrating into your group, because it's really going to damage the reputation in the future.
Correct. That's correct.
I think that was probably our biggest wall, because it's horrible to say no to somebody like, "Oh, can we join? We want to help people," and then you're like, "Well, no, because I've seen that you do this." And I'm quite cruel about it, but
we're not closing off to the idea. Maybe later on, if other teams want to, come and join what we're doing, maybe that'll be open at that point. However, right now, what we're actually doing is developing and building our teams outwards. So we're building from within now.
Wicked. That's really cool.
So we're building from within so that we can maintain our ethical standards, that we don't have that danger, like you were just saying, the faker hunters out there, the parafakers,
I like that. I actually like that word, the parafakers.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's great.
It was perfect, right, Brian?
Yeah, awesome.
But it eliminates that problem, and for obvious reasons, you're going to have some pushback as well if you start getting too many teams in at once, and I think that's just going to cause a lot of chaos.
That's exactly what we did. We built so in that first probably first 6 months, I would say there was probably, as I say, first 4 months heavy recruitment drive, but there was so much being put, so many groups coming in, and it did cause us more issues than it did solutions to start with. Obviously, over the course of the next 6 months after that, we did manage to find a way. But yeah, I completely agree. I think building the way that you want to do it, building from inside and building out is a very clever way of looking at it. And I do honestly wish you the best for it. I think it's a really cool idea, and I hope it does well for you.
Well, most certainly, I'll keep you guys informed. And of course, Brian here, he's going to know what's going on pretty much every step of the way. We talk quite often.
Yeah.
So he's going to know exactly what's going on when it happens for sure. So
let's move on to you, Elton.
Okay. All right, sure thing.
I want to learn more about you as an investigator, and I think the whole Global Unit Foundation is amazing, and I wish you guys nothing but the best in that venture. It's going to be a long road ahead of you, but you guys will do it. You guys will do it. I know, and you and Brian working together, will do it. So, what I want to know about you, Brian, how did you get into the paranormal? What's your origin story? How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this now just over 12 years. So just well over a decade, I've actually been investigating and studying and researching. What got me into this pretty much stems back. I saw some things, experienced some things when I was a kid that made me ask, what's going on, and made me question some things, but then it really kicked off. My father, he passed away in 1989. And unfortunately, my family and I, we experienced a lot of things in the home pretty much immediately right after his death. And it lasted for about 5 years. And right after his death, I entered the military. And these occurrences were following me there. They followed my sister when she moved out. And they, of course, at the same time, we're staying in the home, and we experienced this stuff for quite a long time. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how it was. And it was quite, to be frank with you, it's quite terrifying. Electricity, electronics, they were being affected, objects being moved. There were shadows being seen. You'd get up in the morning and a pot of coffee would be made when you had no coffee grounds in there the night before. Just strange things going on that we could not, for the life of us, explain. And I remember back then, and when being fearful of that stuff and terrified, you don't know where to turn. You don't know who to talk to. The only thing you know is, well, go talk to your priest. And the only real suggestion he has is go talk to a psychiatrist, So you can't really get to resolve that way, So it would have been nice back then if we would have had some type of organization that we would have been able to contact, like what we're doing today, to have somebody come in and help us through this situation. And this is what I want to do today. And after driving a truck for a while and finally retiring from that, I said, this is what I want to learn. I want to find out now what this is all about and go from there. And I've learned so much in the field and gotten so many answers that I was looking for. So thank God I've gotten those answers. So now I want to take myself to the next level and help others get the answers they're looking for, and to let them know they're not crazy. Yeah. So, and that's really my big thing. And to let them know that there is truth out there. There is confirmation out there, and there's something beyond the YouTubing fakers.
No, couldn't have put that bit better myself, actually. I like that. So me and Brian like the origin stories. We find that everyone has a different one, which is what I find fascinating about it. We like Brian's is completely different to mine. Mine's completely different to yours. I don't think we've heard one and the same after doing this for 38 shows. I don't think we've had one that's exactly the same. So that's one of my favorite things for it. But what I really like as well is the fact that do you think it makes us weird people? That's something that we can't explain from that young. Most people would run away from it, and we spend, that you said, over a decade is looking for this and finding it. And do you think it's a weird personality trait that we want to look for it, and to the extent that we do, or are we a special breed of people? And that's what there's some that would run away and never go looking for the stuff that
we Lex, in the 70s when I grew up, and now I'm telling my age, so just don't let that out, okay? But in the 70s when I grew up, I was right about 7, 8 years old, right in that neighborhood when I had my very first, experience. And what I experienced was a full apparition in the middle of the night, and I at the time thought I just passed it off that it was my mother, but upon inspection, it was not. My mother was fast asleep in her bed, and there's no way that it would have been anybody else. And back then it was pretty cut and dry. If you're a good little boy, you go to heaven. If you're bad, you go to hell. There's no in between. There's no, you're not staying here. You're not lingering around. Ghosts and ghouls and things was just a prop for Halloween, you see. And this particular occurrence happened probably about 2 weeks before Christmas that year. So it's certainly not Halloween,
Yeah.
So, and here I am, I'm devastated because what I'm learning from the church, what I'm learning from my parents is not what I'm finding out. And it's not something you can share with people because in the 70s, they lock you up for stuff like that, and, that just kind of stuck with me and how I felt that way as a child. That's not fair for children to live like that. They shouldn't have to live in fear like that, and that's probably got to be my largest drive right there, to reach people that you're not crazy, you're not alone, and that there is help out here that can help you. Not like it used to be.
I think, sorry for cutting you off there, but you just said something really important there, that when we're kids, we are told, depending on which part of the world you live in, and if you are a religious family or not a religious family, you're always told an absolute. You are told, as you just said there, if you're good, you're going to heaven. If you're bad, you're going to hell. There's no in between. Then if you live in a non-religious household, most of them, the one that I grew up in, is when you're dead, you're dead. There's nothing afterwards. I wouldn't say it's dangerous, but it's not something that if I ever become a parent, which I'm hoping I will, it's not the way that, even if I wasn't investigating, it's not the way that I'd want to teach my kids, because I just think, because you don't. But even if you weren't investigating, you don't know that. If you believe it, that's a different matter, but you don't know it. So that's you're reading a book and you're believing a book. That's fine. Or if you have no beliefs whatsoever and you just think you live once and you die, so it's fine. But I think when like you said, that when you're told as kids that it's one way or the other, it's you're here or here. You're never gonna. There's nothing here. It doesn't exist.
Right.
So I find that quite a weird concept that we tell kids, that when you ask parents, do you believe in it? And a lot of them will say they do. And it's like, well, why are you telling your kids that it's not real then? I think there's a lot of reason people doubt us. A lot of people, like you said, people were locked up and being crazy, said they were crazy because they were experiencing some very real things that obviously nowadays are a bit easier for us to prove. Well, I'll say easier to prove. We have more tools to try and prove it, if that makes sense.
Well, not to mention, I think as a society as a whole, I think we're a lot more open to it today than we were back when I grew up. Society back then just didn't want to accept those things, So, and today, and we can thank our lively, go shows for that, to condition us and bring us into acceptance, right?
Thank you, guys.
It's funny. It's funny. I was thinking. I was watching the reveal yesterday from the Para-Unity in Las Vegas. I was watching the reveal from the world's largest ghost hunt, and I watched a couple of streams over the last couple of days, and I was thinking to myself, there was one particular group there, and I have nothing against them. I don't. And they're on TV, but they're known as faking as well, and they were there at the show. And they had some of the biggest lineups from what I've seen from other people's streams. And I was going, see, this is where the problem is right there. People are still believing these shows, that are on TV, and most of them are fake. And if I were to choose between two shows, and we know what the shows are, ZB and GH, I don't think we need to get into saying what their names are. They do their own thing. But we know ZB is the ultimate faker out of all of them. And GH, do you know who I'm referring to, Lex, when I say GH?
I don't think I know who GH is.
Okay, Ghost Hunters.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, okay. So, but people were lining up trying to get their autographs, trying to get pictures, trying to do all this. And I'm thinking to myself, people, there are groups in Las Vegas right now that are real paranormal investigators, and you're bypassing them and going to the people that are on TV that obviously faked our content. Like, I just don't get it. So I think we are changing things, but it's been very slow, and it's still very slow. And I think it will be very slow still. But I just didn't get it because there were a lot of other groups there that I know personally and have seen that are real paranormal investigators, and they were being bypassed for, like, okay, for example, I don't have a problem with Destination Fear. I really don't. Okay. I think some of their stuff is really quite good, but I think there's some of their stuff is really quite exaggerated. And again, they had a huge lineup, but then you have all these real paranormal investigators that are just sitting there waiting for somebody to come to their booth so they can talk to them. It's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. And I wish people's minds would change and understand that, you know, okay, of course they're entertaining. I understand that they're entertaining, but I don't know.
But before I move on to the next one, I just want to say, like, the only thing that I thank these ghost shows for, and as a content creator on YouTube, that I think we have to be a little thankful for, is that's where the paranormal interest came from before horror movies. Because if you look at the biggest horror movies, there were age ratings, so parents wouldn't show their kids, but they'd let their kids watch Ghost Adventures or something like that because it's not that bad. And I think the only thing we can thank them for, really, before the modern day horror genre, because it's got, like, paranormal horror has got really good recently. But this is where the interest in paranormal came from for a lot of the people that are probably finding up our videos and stuff like that. They want to know if it's real or not, so they're going to look online, and hopefully they bypass the you know who's of YouTube that we don't want them watching. But I found people by falling into rabbit holes because I was like, well, I don't trust that channel. I've seen how they do it, so I'm just going to put in a compilation of the best paranormal evidence found on camera, and I'm going to write down every channel name, and I'm just going to work out. And I went down a rabbit hole to find decent channels. And I did that when I was younger. Before I had my experience at 17, I watched religiously the British version of these ghost shows. And I mean, it's a terrible show now, but
do you understand my point, though? Do you understand?
I do get it. Like, I'd be upset.
You know,
like,
I don't know. I don't know. I was just watching it, and the reveal and some of the streams of these booths that are people that are real investigators trying to get real evidence, and they're being bypassed for fake shows.
This is the downside to having TV stars at the same event.
You know, that's what I don't like, and I don't like seeing that. But, you know, hopefully that will change over time, but we'll see. So moving on. Do you want me to ask him the next question, Lex?
No, this is my one.
Okay, sorry.
So
my bad.
You do not have permission. So we've dived very deep into how you got into this. But what I'd like you to do is, if you could tell us about your latest investigation that you've done, and maybe something about what you got coming up next.
Well, that's pretty easy because my latest investigation is one I'm actually in the middle of right now. It's it's an investigation we started last week in Jerome, Arizona, and it is a continuous run investigation. We'll be going back again. Looks like this coming week. We've done some nighttime stuff over there. We'll be doing some daytime stuff. We'll be entering a school over there. We're also going to be getting access to room number 32 in the Jerome Grand Hotel. So we're going to be accessing some of those locations there and investigating that the next time we go. So it's kind of a 1-2 part thing. So we're kind of involved in that. Some of the more upcoming investigations we've got coming up is Tombstone, Arizona. We're going to be investigating in and around the Birdcage Theater over near the OK Corral. We'll be checking that place out. And I'm going to be trying, and it's not a guarantee yet, but I'm really trying to get into the Shuffling Hall, but they've got some structural issues with construction with that building right now. So I don't know that we're going to be able to actually get in that building, but we're going to try it anyways. So we'll definitely be going to Tombstone to get that checked out. So
very cool. You got a lot of things Got a lot of things coming up. I'd love to. God, you know what? I really, really need to move to the States. I really do. Like, there's so much going on in the States. Like, there's quite a bit going here in Canada, but not as much in the States. It's just, I don't think I would move to I love the UK. I do. Don't get me wrong. I love the UK, but I just don't think I can move there. The States, I could probably move to, especially Arizona, and being close to Eldon. That'd be awesome.
You know what I like about the UK? What I like about the UK is when you go into a store, your total price is figured into the item. Here you got to play guesswork. It's like, okay, it's $2.99 on the shelf. Well, what's your tax rate involved in that? In the UK, all your taxes are all included in the item. So I like that.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, it's real easy for you.
And I don't have to do tax returns, so because it's all done.
You didn't think I knew that?
Mm.
You didn't think I knew that, did you, Lex?
Yeah, we don't have to do anything. Like we pay, tax comes out of our paychecks. Everything is taxed
tax comes out of our paycheck. Tax comes out of our paycheck.
Yeah, but everything's taxed automatically here, so I don't have to sit there and work it all out and pay it. I've got to pay certain things every month in tax, but like I don't have to do like a big thing at the end of the year or the end of the financial year and go through all my receipts and work out how much trouble I'm in. I don't have to do any of that, which is great.
Yeah, I have to. Well, maybe my mind's changed now. Maybe I will move to the UK just for that specific reason.
And if you were to hurt yourself on an investigation, the ambulance to the hospital is completely free. The healthcare is completely free, and the aftercare is completely free. So there's another reason why the UK is probably a better place to live, just because the healthcare.
We have that in Canada too. We have free healthcare.
Yeah, but obviously because you are owned by us.
And then also
figured that out yet.
The only thing is we have to. I think you have to pay for your own ambulance here, but everything after that is covered by healthcare,
which is really good. Like I'm surprised, and this is way off topic, so I'll only say it once.
It's definitely way off topic.
I'll just say it once. It's the weirdest thing in the world that you have to when you have a baby. It costs you like a shit ton of money just to have the baby. Like or anything, you fall over and you break your leg and you physically can't do anything. If you're broke, what do you do? If you have no money and you have what happens then?
Exactly.
Go find a job on one leg.
So to all of the American viewers out there, I feel your pain right now. I'm just as jealous as you are. Just so you know that. I feel your pain. All right.
That's a whole different topic.
That's
a whole different show.
I hurt myself all the time because I know it's free. I was like,
the healthcare is free in UK and it's free in Canada, but not free in the States, which is, I think they will eventually get it somewhere down the road.
Maybe. So. But on the topic of going to the States, I would like to move. One of the places I want to move to is the States, to be fair. Especially on this I especially want to spend a lot of time there while I'm doing paranormal stuff now, because as much as we've got castles and older buildings and stuff, the buildings just look so much better in America. They're so much bigger. Some of the stuff I see, even in Canada, some of the stuff I see you guys do, it's great.
It's only bigger in Texas.
Okay, well, that's another topic for another day. Are we talking about big hair?
No. Big hats.
So, Eldon, when you go out on an investigation and you're reaching for a piece of equipment, what is your favorite piece of equipment other than your camera?
That's a very interesting question. I don't have a favorite piece of equipment. I base my equipment on how I feel, how the investigation's going, and what I might want to try to get involved in. If I had a favorite piece of equipment, I wouldn't have a lot of my equipment. I have all of my equipment for a reason. I like all of it. It depending on the situation, it all works. So I can't really say that I have a favorite piece.
Well, that's a
It's
very good answer.
It's like a toolbox when you're working on your car. It's like asking me, well, do you like a hammer when all I need is a wrench? I don't have a favorite tool either. I just grab the tool for the job.
Yeah, it's a very good answer.
Maybe you should call Matt. Talk about him and his truck. Matt's having a lot of problem with his truck this week.
Yeah, his truck is possessed. His truck is possessed.
His wheel fell off yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about that. Poor
How
guy.
the hell does that happen? And then the bolt center for the car, the lug nuts there are all in a circular motion on the road. That's just weird. Very, very weird. I hope Matt's listening to this because when he was explaining it today, what happened yesterday, we talked earlier today on the phone, and I really, really wanted to laugh, but I also felt really, really bad because he's going through a lot of trouble with the truck.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, no, that's cool. I like the answer, Eldon. That's great.
Yeah, I like that too. No one said that before. It's the first time we've heard that, so that's great. My favorite answer we've ever had was the reason why we say not cameras is because people would kind of like, oh well, I'd obviously take my camera. It's like, yeah, duh, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Which obviously we get the confusion of the question because obviously,
Right.
But yeah, the other one I really like is I think we had someone say that they themselves is their favorite piece of equipment, which I thought was a cool answer. So those two probably go hand in hand. I like both of those.
Well, when you get somebody that's clairvoyant, I can see that.
Yes. We'll move on. So you've done this for over a decade, which is fantastic. In all that time, what's been your favorite place to investigate and why?
Oh, wow. My favorite place to investigate is about 2 miles from my house, right up the street here. I've been investigating there pretty much ever since I began. It is a cemetery. It's not a building. It's a cemetery. I feel peaceful there. I feel comfortable there, and I get a carousel of evidence there. And a lot of people haven't had so much luck there, but I tend to get EVPs. I can get ghost box responses. I've got some really cool thermal imaging, hits from over there. It's just, I tend to have the luck.
Do you think it's the places picked the whoever's residing there? Do you think it's like because they know you because you visit a lot that they're kind of more open to come out for you?
Well, it is a current working cemetery. They're still using it today, and it has filled up quite a bit since COVID has hit. So that could be one of the explanations. I'm not closed off to other options, but I have a few theories that are possible. I haven't been able to narrow them down to one yet.
Yeah, it's good because it's very similar to, but almost similar because obviously Brian gets a lot of when he goes to Blue Ghost Tunnel quite a lot, and he gets a lot of things there. And we've said that maybe we spoke about this, didn't we? That maybe they sort of get excited that you're the one that's coming back, and maybe they actually enjoy talking to you. Yeah, it's something I really enjoy.
It's funny. I'm working on a video right now that I went to 3 weeks ago, and when I before I started the session with the SB7, I said I've been here a lot, so you should. Well, I shouldn't say you guys, but you should know who I am by now. I've been here like 4 or 5 times, and I want you to say my name. And as soon as I turn on the SB7, Brian, and then Brian, twice. So I think there is some truth to it. And me and Lex have talked about this many times, that if you go to a spot a lot or a number of times, I think they eventually know who you are, and whether they like you or whether they don't like you. You know what I mean? I think there is a lot of truth to that. And
I think they know who you are when you first show up. When you're there the first time, yeah, absolutely. And the reason I say that is I've been in locations that it's been my first time there, and they know who I am. I've got those EVPs with my name on it the very first time.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So this tells me that they know who you are the minute you get there. The minute you introduce yourself, which I would, hope to assume that we all do in a respectful way. Hi, my name is such and such. I'd like to speak with you. You're introducing yourself. So obviously they're going to know who you are from day one. Yeah,
because I had a cool one on Kluwer Park in my daytime investigation we did. And I used to go to this park as a kid, like all the time. And we were doing the video, and I'd forgotten to introduce myself first. And so I sit there and I say, "I'll just say one of our names," and straight away it says Lex. Straight away, and it's only I think it's 2 minutes after I asked that question because I didn't hear it at first. I heard it on the edit, and as I was, and the 2 or 3 questions later on is when I say, "My name's Lex. This is Stuart. This is Nadine." I didn't really twig straight away. I was like, I haven't said my name yet, and that knew my name.
You know, we were just talking about the Shefflin Hall down in Tombstone, and I had an experience there that I noticed we caught after I got back home and was reviewing some of the evidence. And I had noticed that they actually mocked something that I was saying. Trouble is, they mocked it before I said it. So
Oh,
I
that's
can
weird.
relate. I can relate to what you're just saying. They said what I was about to say, and then I said it. So what is
Yeah,
this? What does that indicate? I mean, are they able to, know what we're thinking or what we're about to say? I mean, it really opens up some questions there. You
gets
know that
gets very complicated very quickly.
Yes.
exactly. It's kind of weird that they were able to do that. And it just wait a minute.
It
Are you
reminds
serious?
me. It reminds me of that movie that came out years ago with Meg Ryan and what Nicolas Cage when he was a spirit. He was a ghost. He's passed on and
Mhm,
was able, and he was like her protector, her guide, and he would know what she was saying even before she said it.
mhm.
So yeah, have you ever seen that? I can't recall the name of that movie, but it
No.
was Meg Ryan and Nicolas Cage,
Mhm,
and he actually was in love with her, and he actually I think she died, and then she came back to life. He was able to cross over and come back to life. It was a love story, anyways.
I'd have to
They're
watch it or
going with
something.
yeah, it was a love story, whatever. So, um, so next question for you, Eldon, and you've probably had a number of these happen to you, and I kind of know what I think the answer is going to be, because I know what kind of person you are. So, what has been your scariest moment or place to investigate,
Oh wow. To investigate.
or one of
I
your scariest moments?
Well, I'm not. I can't say that I've had any major scary moments. I can't say
Yeah,
that.
I knew you were going to say that, Steve.
I have been startled. I will
Yeah.
admit that. I've been able to see things a couple of times that caught me completely off guard. Something similar to what maybe some people remember with Nick Groff when he had captured a figure at, I think it was Vista Linda Hospital. Where he just all of a sudden saw this figure right in front of him and he was startled. Something similar to that. Although I didn't try running out of the building either. So you
Mhm.
know. But yeah, I've been startled a couple times. Just something, I saw something right there that shouldn't have been there, and I wasn't expecting it. You know, and that's actually happened a couple of times in a couple of different locations. One was at the school in Jerome that I was just referring to. It happened to me there, and then there was another location just out west here, and that was actually out just in the desert in a location that is supposed to be haunted that wasn't actually a building. So I was actually able to capture that there as well. So I can't say that I've been scared, but I have been startled, Brian.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I knew you were going to say that because I've
Yeah,
I've heard you've been asked that question before, and you said the
yeah,
exact same thing. But
yeah.
So
um, I don't even think Lex or myself, like, I think we've had probably scary moments, but nothing that would want us to leave an
no,
area.
I
I
find
don't
I
think.
find I find I get like rather than a scary moment, I've had moments that are freaky. Like the only time I've ever been fully scared of something in this field was when I first encountered it. When I was 17, I saw these eyes through with these red eyes through a black fog in the daytime in a building. So that's like when I was 17, didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I booked it out of there as fast as I could, and then started questioning stuff. But since I've been investigating, I don't think anything's like really scared me. I know that there was once. I think it's in. It would have been my third video, but we weren't allowed to put it up online because we got in trouble for trespassing. And this is the Gardner house. So there's a part one and a part two, but part two is gone. But there was I think there was a moment there where it was probably quite scary, but we didn't leave. But I think other than that was still early days for me. So I don't think there's been anything like that. I get more of a freak. I get more freaked out by the locations more than anything that actually happens there. Like Strawberry Hill House that I went to, the patrol went to as well. It's probably like the sketchiest place that I've been to recently. and it's just because it's a house in the middle of freaking nowhere and it's been set on fire 3 times. So yeah, I don't know if it's a paranormal thing where you get used to it maybe, and you like you can't really be scared of something if you know it's there. It's like when you watch a horror movie and if you've seen the film before, you know the jump scare's coming, so you don't get scared. Like the film might still freak you out a little bit, but you don't get scared anymore. So maybe it's like that. But yeah, I find places more sketchy than the moments that happen in them, really.
Yeah. I for myself, I think I've only been really scared well, maybe twice, but I didn't leave, and there was no way I was going to leave. There was one video where I was at the sawmill that for whatever the reason, the place just as soon as you walked in, you had this overwhelming sensation all over your body that something is wrong here. There, and I don't care. You wouldn't have to be a sensitive or a psychic or a medium to have that feeling when you walked into this place. It just felt like death. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling when something like that takes over your whole body. Like when you walk into a place and you know something bad really happened here. And the medium actually said there was a fight in this place and both people got killed. And because of a fight, because of something ridiculous, which was money. The fight was over money. And another place that I went to where I had, a little bit of a scare, but that's only because I was by myself. And I don't think I ever really recommend going by yourself. I wanted to try it once or twice to see what it was like, and never again will I do that. When they say it's unsafe because you never know what's going to happen. When Lex gets to Canada, I'm going to be taking him to this spot, and it's Sewell's Bridge. And I don't know why there's so much activity at this bridge, but it is scary when you go under the bridge, because as soon as you get under the bridge, your stomach turns instantly. And then all of a sudden, right after that, you'll hear a voice. There, every single time I go there, my son has been touched there. The K2 meter goes crazy. The amount of EVPs we get on the microphone, the voice recorder, everything. It's the exact same thing with Blue Ghost Tunnel, but the difference between Blue Ghost Tunnel and Sewell's Bridge is that I know there's something negative at Sewell's Bridge compared to Blue Ghost Tunnel, where there's nothing really negative there. It's just a shitload of spirits there that have a lot to say and want to talk to you, and either want to tell you to get out, or they want you to stay, or they want to find out more about you. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting question when we hear the answer. And I don't know. I just it's cool. It's cool. It's very cool. I love this industry. I really do.
Yeah, it's so good, isn't it?
We could go on for hours and hours and hours and just talk about anything. I felt like I was getting off track there because I was talking about different things, but that's what we do, right? As paranormal investigators, we have so many stories,
and it leads you in so many different directions.
Yeah. And because there's so many stories I could share on some of my experiences that I've had over the last several years, and it's nonstop, and I could go on for hours and hours and hours. And you know what, Lex? One day you'll get there too, buddy. You'll have lots and lots and lots of stories, man. Like Lex is pretty new, I think, in the filming, right? In the filming of it, right?
Yeah, it was a year in September.
Yeah. So he's still a puppy. He's still a puppy in this industry.
I've learned a lot in a year. I've done quite well, I think. Yeah, I've learned a lot. That's because I got to meet people. So
yeah, and you know what? Doing this show has really opened us up to meeting a lot of different people, a lot of great people too, and we just learned so much. And I think in the last how long have we been doing this show? Like 7 months.
7 months, yeah.
Yeah, we've just learned so much. I've learned a lot. I've learned different things from different people, and it's just been great. So the final question, and this is Lex's favorite part of the show. And if anybody watches our show, every time he asks this question, it always changes.
Just so you know, I think I have an answer for that.
What's that?
Whatever your question is. I'll actually probably just write it down. If I write it down real quick and show it to you that way, I'll bet you I can guess what it is.
So here's the incredible question. I actually bought props this time. You all saw the props earlier because I was eating chips out of them. But imagine this sexy burger bag that I had for yesterday.
Oh my God.
Still smells like chips. Imagine this burger bag was full of all the money in the world there, Eldon, and we gave it to you to go anywhere in the world to investigate. Where would you go?
The Valley of the Kings in Egypt.
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a very good one.
A good one.
Look at the head. Look at the four. That was like straight away.
I told you I knew that answer. Now let me tell you. I love Scotland. I would love to investigate Scotland. The trouble is, it would just take me too dang long because I would stay there.
Oh yeah, Scotland's beautiful. Yeah.
I wouldn't stay in the Valley of the Kings. Okay, so I would actually be able to investigate that and move on. But Scotland, I would probably be tempted to stay.
It's cool. I think Egypt's got a fair few places. There's one that me and Brian are quite fond of, which is what do they call it? It's the City of the Dead, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
the Dead City.
Dead City. Sorry, yeah, that's one that I'd like to go to.
Have you heard of that, Eldon?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still bugs me out that, but yeah, I feel Valley of the Kings is a great one to put down on the list. No one said that one yet. Gonna write that one down.
I think the great thing about that is Egypt has so much history, and like even a lot more history than I believe the UK has. And
it's got history going to the core, man.
But they've got it's like almost incomplete history. There are bits of their history which we can't even explain now.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest one, pyramids. People are still questioning the existence of those.
They're still trying to figure that out. Yeah, they're still trying to figure that one out.
Did people actually do it? Was it extraterrestrials? Was it something else? I was like hieroglyphics showing pictures of vehicles and
helicopters,
helicopter, airplane, car. There was a UFO one that I saw, and it's weird. There's so much untapped history there that no one knows yet, and I think that's what's great about, especially that ancient Egypt era. I think that's why Egypt is such a raw place for people to want to go, because it's we look for the unexplained, and we're better than a country that has so much unexplained history. It's quite cool. I love Egypt.
Because you're not only looking at paranormal, but you're also looking at possible UFO. A lot of people have said that the pyramids were built by aliens, UFOs, and I kind of wonder if there's any truth to that because of the size of those pyramids and how the hell did they get those things up there at the top of the pyramids?
That's quite obviously, Brian. They what they did is they got these metal scaffolds, right, and they welded them together and built a crane. And there was a guy driving that crane. Oh wait, no, hang on. The cranes weren't invented yet, were they? No, what it was, people carried stones on their backs up a.
Wow!
I have some sort of belief in the UFO theory to a degree. Have I got any evidence saying anything? No, I don't think anyone ever has. But like, just looking at it, I can't see how slave labor of people carrying stones up on with rope. And walking all the way, getting all the way up to the top to put it there. I can't imagine it. A
lot of people call them UFOs. I call them AACs. That's alien aircraft.
I got UAP.
They're not unidentified. They're just unidentified to us because they know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. It's true. Yeah,
that's definitely another topic, and I'm nowhere near being experienced in the UFO department, and I just paranormal's my thing. I love the paranormal. I love everything about it, and that's where my focus is. And obviously Lex as well as Eldon here. And Eldon, I have to say, brother, that I've known you for about 3 weeks now, a month, and I have to say you're one of the, other than Lex, of course. I don't want to leave Lex out of that.
You too, Lex.
Make sure.
Yeah, and you're one of the most easiest people that I've been able to speak to. You're very down to earth. I like the fact that you have a filter, but you know when to use it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I thought he said he knew me. Did he say he knew me, Lex?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. No, but honestly, all kidding aside, I just it's really, really been fun learning about you over these last 3 weeks. Obviously, you've gone through some changes, some good changes, hopefully some great changes. I really look forward to seeing what you guys are going to be doing down the road. I'm sure you're going to be doing great things. And if Matt has anything to say about it, as your consultant, he will make sure that you guys do great things.
So let me touch on that just a second there, Brian, and let me kind of clear that up, and so everybody knows where that's going. You know, and Matt BRYAN is a wonderful individual. I met Matt around the same time I did you, and Matt's got a lot of good information. He's got a lot of knowledge, and he's got a huge heart for this industry. Okay. And, you know, everything that Matt's trying to do is coming from his heart. And I love that solely. And this is one of the things that myself and my two other co-founders have discussed. You know, Matt BRYAN is and has been now claimed our personal paranormal consultant. And, you know, we're going to be working with him definitely in the future and keeping him close to our side. So, absolutely. So just
I'm going to get I want to get Matt on the show sometime in the near future because he's not only a great guy, he's got a great thing coming out next year.
Absolutely.
The festival next year. And you and Brian have some great things coming out next year. I look forward to seeing that. You guys still doing your trek, your journey, your traveling?
That is still in the plans. However, just because of some things that just recently came up, we may have to push that back just a little bit, but yes, that is still in plans. That's something that we still have on our, you know.
And you guys know if I can, you guys know I'll be out there.
Well, if need be, we'll get a boat and we'll try to smuggle you, man.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I'm going to get into the States right now is by boat.
Right.
If somebody smuggles me in a trunk.
Just dig a tunnel.
Yeah, or take it to a very long tunnel. So. But I really, really appreciate the fact that we've met.
Absolutely.
I'm also very, very happy and that you guys have really, really supported Parapost. And I think it's a great thing. You guys understand what my mission is with Parapost and what I want to do. And you've been excellent. You guys have been excellent. And I look forward to getting how do I say this? I'm looking very forward when I'm in front of you guys, like not on camera, face to face, and we're going to be doing an investigation together. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I know that day's coming and hopefully sooner than later. But again, I really want to say thank you for coming on today's show. And I really appreciate you taking the time.
I really appreciate the invite. It's been really fun, guys.
Yeah, we're not bad. We're not bad people. You know, the British can come off a little bit. They can come off a little bit.
I had to come on here and find out for myself. You know, because the stories about the Brian and Lex thing here. You know, I've been hearing some bad stuff, right? Just kidding, guys. Really, just kidding. No. It's been wonderful. Parapost, a phenomenal platform right there, man. That's a genius move, and I love it. It parallels exactly what I believe in and support 100%, man. And you're absolutely right. We'll continue to support Parapost. D's Ghost has got a good program going on. I'm very proud of that particular program, happening. I think you guys partnering up was just a beautiful matchup. And, with Matt BRYAN being involved in this as well, I mean, he's got a lot of good things. He's got a lot of outstanding plans coming up. Some of them he's not letting us know yet, so I can't really touch on that,
And I will say, and I'm just going to touch on that. I want people to, and Eldon, you can hear this now. I want people to tune in the show this Wednesday on Matt's Matt's channel, The Paranormal Consultant, because we
Absolutely.
have a very, very special announcement to make on that show. Something that's coming out in January, and I think people are going to be surprised. I think they're going to say it's about time, and it's going to be a fantastic show. And I'm really looking forward to doing the show in January. And I think everybody's going to get on board. And I don't think we're going to have hundreds in the room. I think we're going to have thousands, because it's going to be that big.
That's good, man.
And I'm really looking forward to it. But again, I want to say thank you for coming on today's show. And
Absolutely. Thank you.
I will say my goodbyes, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Outstanding. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lex. Good talking to you, brother. And we'll talk to you later, Matt. Or I'm sorry, later. Brian.
Keep up the.
I'm calling. I'm gonna try to get a hold of Matt here. So I got Matt.
But yeah, I just want to wish you all the best in the future. Look forward to seeing what comes up with this project you're on.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I've had an absolute blast today. So thank you so much for coming on.
Outstanding.
You've been great. Thank you very much.
All right, guys.
Cool. I just want to say, for anyone in the room who hasn't clicked the link below to support Eldon and their group, go do it now. I'll wait. On your back. Thank you for going to do that. As you can tell, that was a good one. I like that one.
El did like that too.
Yeah,
El did like that too.
It's a good one. Because if we've done this show a lot of times, and you see different people's personalities on this show, and everyone's different, and just you can tell what a great guy he is. He's so fun to talk to. We could have been doing this for another hour, 2 hours. And it would today's just flown by. I've had an absolute blast talking to him, and he deserves the support. He's got a lot of stuff coming up, and everyone needs to help him get there and show that it's worth doing. And so, if you haven't, do what I'm gonna do. Click it. Well, I've already done it. I did it earlier, but click the link. follow all the pages. Subscribe to everything you can, man.
Yeah, his links are in the bottom there in the description. And if you want to go over to Parapost and follow on Parapost or friend him, I'm sure he's going to friend you. Go over to his group page on Facebook and join Eldon's group page and watch what he's going to be bringing up down the road, if I can say that. And I think he's just a great guy, and I'm glad I met him. And he's like I said earlier, he's been a huge supporter of Parapost. He knows my vision. We've spoken about it quite a bit, and he knows what I want to do with the site, and he's completely on board. And this is what it's all about, and great things coming out for these guys in the new year. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah. And lastly, I just want to say to you guys, thank you again for tuning in and supporting our show. We love doing this. As I said last time, without any facts or figures, we are the #1 paranormal podcast or show on air. Everyone knows that. We are the best one. I'm sorry to all the other ones. You must be. You're all pretty good. You're all equally second, but we just beat you. But I have a lot of fun doing it. So thank you for that. And if I know we don't do it often, we've started to do it a bit more. But if you are in the room and you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do ring that bell if you'd like to get notified when we're coming back on. It's every Sunday, but ring the bell just in case you forget, or time zones are a bit confusing, like our guest. But if things happen like that, do that. Support us, share that out, and get people watching the show, because I think it's an important show for the paranormal community. We're bringing people together. We're promoting Parapost every show, and that's the platform for us paraheads to get involved with. So like and share the show out, guys. Thank you very much.
Who do we have coming up next week?
So next week, I just need to double check and confirm with them. But I got contacted during the show. This is really cool. We got emailed during the live show last week by a group called Integrity Paranormal, and I can't remember the guy's name. I think his name's Bill. He's been doing this for years, apparently. So I'm looking forward to speaking to him. I just need to send him a confirmation tonight or tomorrow. I just want to find out what I can, get some juicy stories out of him. But they seem like a great group. They're really up for talking to us and being involved with the paranormal community a bit more, and speaking to people and meeting people. So they're going to be on next week on the 19th, which I believe will be our last show before Christmas, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. It is
So
correct. And you know what? Maybe in the new year, we might have some special news for people. Something really good is happening with our show in the new year. And me and Lex have been talking about it. And it's something that's going to happen a few months down the road, but it's going to be really, really good. And we will keep everybody informed in that. But until next week, right? Until next week. You're here next week. Yeah.
I am here next week. Until
until next week.
Even though I was late at work, I still made it on time. Booyah.
Yes, you did. Booyah for sure. Anyways, again, guys, I left the description down below for our YouTube channel if you're watching through Facebook today. So if you can just go over and give us a subscribe, a like, and a share, that would be great. And if you want to be on this show, all you have to do is email us and we'll bring you up and showcase your channel or whatever you're doing. That's all it is, and we'll have a great time doing it. So everybody, have a great rest of the day, and we will see you next week.